Everybody, it's Rob, the OneEyedVapor, here to give you a quick little review. It's going to be more of a show and tell. I don't have all the fancy equipment, and tons of people already beat me to it. So, it's going to be a quick review of the Hcigar VT200 running the new Evolved DNA 200 chip. I do have a couple altogether. I mean, it's lighter than you would think in the hand, and it's oddly kind of comfortable. But I do have a couple concerns, and a couple things I'd kind of like to show you. So, alright, give me a minute, and we'll be right back. Okay, so here we are. This is the Hcigar okay, so here we are up and close with the Hcigar VT200. I like it. I like these little stripes. I don't find them like overly sharp or anything. Kind of the way it feels. I tend to hold it kind of like this, and so it gives me some good traction there on my thumb. One thing though, I've noticed on this thing, is if you're just holding it by this like anodized painted steel stuff, this will happen. There's like, it's almost like it's polished. So be wary of that. There's the DNA 200 screen. Let's see if we can get a close up. You can see my presets in here for Clutch Vapor's Moab, Cinnamon Toast Crunch by I forget who, Royalty, 100 gram, Long Haul by a local guy. So I leave one setting open and generic, so if I put something new on it, I can just still sort of play around. And then my favorite, my all-day vape, my apple, right there, and I got my unicorn milk, and yeah, that's the way to do it, to program it in. I'll show you a little bit of that interface here in a second. A couple things I don't like already though is like almost within a day of owning it, I noticed this coating starting to scratch off. I mean, I know it's cosmetic. I don't really care as long as it stays functional. I mean, maybe someday I'll end up taking a Dremel tool and taking it down to bare metal and doing something like that with it. Who knows? The buttons are nice and clicky. They have a very nice little ribbed steel there, making it very easy to find. It feels very good in the hand, nice and strong. Either hand. I've never, I mean, I guess it's designed to be used like this, but I've never felt comfortable using a mod like that with just having just my thumb there to hit the button. I just don't like it. So I've always gone this way. Somebody should really design around that. Anyway, can I give it a thumbs up? Yeah. It's going to run you about $170, and you get better battery life over like the Vapor Shark with its 900 milliamp battery. This thing does have a, let's see, what is it? It has a, let's see, it has a 1300 watt LiPo battery, 1300 watt. The 1300 milliwatt. Sorry. It has a 1300 milliamp LiPo battery in it. Give it a full. They say it's supposed to be close to 2300 milliamp IMR. I don't know. The battery life on this seems to be pretty short. But I'll have a couple closing thoughts and tell you how many, if I remember this time, tell you how many dildos worth of whatever I thought it was worth. And we'll be right back.
Okay, so we're just going to take a quick look-see at the Evolve DNA 20 programming interface. I've already connected it. I've already downloaded settings. Here you can see the model number, my DNA, manufacturer, Hcigar VT200, mod configured in China, 7th of October. Board programmed Friday, September 4th. So, here are my presets. Most of the time I'm running Hcigar subtanks on this, so I've noticed the resistance likes to wander on these. So to get a nice warm vape, I lock the ohms, set it to 2.1. You can label these profiles. You can load up your own graphics. As you can see here, load. I've got some different graphics here you can select, but that's what I've gotten. I've got Unicorn Milk, Moab, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. This is actually a duplicate of this one right here. So I'm thinking that, well, I'll just leave it for now. But a couple important things to notice here. Your wattage, that determines how long it takes. That's how much power you're pushing the coil to get to 520 degrees against whatever the resistance is or your ohms locked. And this is just telling it to, go ahead and use a temperature sensing coil. A good idea of where to set some of these is by opening up the atomizer analyzer. This tells me real time that I've got the Muffin Man from One Hit Wonder, so kind of apple flavor in here. And this gives me a real-time statistics on my coil, where the resistance is. But like I said, as you can see over here, the ohms are already locked. So what we're going to do is we're just going to show you this is real time, I'm just going to take a vape. And yes, indeed. Coils absolutely heat up when you vape them. As you can see, that's on its way down. Let's close that out and show you a couple other important things. One thing you're going to want to do is, and this is just advice I've gotten, some of these, the preheat power is different. I've had people tell me to set it to 1 watt. I've had people tell me to set it to 25 to 30. I'm going to try an experiment here and set this to 60. But you're definitely going to want to take this down from 200, which is where it defaults. The preheat punch, I've just got this set at 1. Preheat time limit, got down to 0.5. Just because the preheat, I think, needs to evolve a little bit more. So basically, I'm not disabling it, I'm just dialing these way back. Notice you've got some other ones here. Let's put this one to 60 as well. And let's see what the other ones are. I think they're already sitting at 60. Yeah. Okay. And this is where you can load themes if you want to. Got my custom opening of Sup Yo. I've got some Terminator fonts in here. Screen orientation is set up on the left. I actually think I'm going to move that because it's usually in my right hand. Battery meter is always on. And let's see. You can move your fields around if you want, which is actually something I've never messed around with much, never felt the need to. Seems fine to have ohms, voltage, and then temperature. So that's pretty decent brightness. 100% is fine. Screen active. I mean, you can just dial on almost anything. Battery types lithium polymer, 3-cell, watt-hour calculator. There's a few other things. Got a battery analyzer, which I'm just not going to bother to run right now. And the research, I don't know. I think that's for testing of some manner. But since I've made some changes in here, you have to do what you always have to do with one of these devices: upload settings to device. And the device itself says upload settings while you do that. Verifying settings. And boom, we're done. So the only thing we have to do from here now is we just need to flip this around, or rather you always want to make sure you disconnect it. So really, that's all there is to it. I'll go ahead and disconnect. And once you've done that, then you can go ahead and close it out, and you're done. That's pretty much all there is to it. Just keep an eye on your settings right here. Follow something like this. You don't have to lock your ohms if you don't want to. I just find I get a warmer vape by dialing that in. But yeah, definitely you want to lower your preheat power, preheat punch, and your preheat time. So that is the Evolve DNA200 programming interface.
Okay, so what are my concerns on this guy? Well, it's still a little slippery in the hand, which we're not fond of, but I don't like that little tiny bit of scuff, little tiny bit of finish that's already worn itself off. I don't know if you can even see that. Yeah, you should be able to see that. It's already kind of worn itself off. I don't care for that. The DNA chip's a DNA chip. It's the DNA200, so all the functionality there is, again, feels very solidly built. The buttons feel firm. Really, the biggest issue I have with this is just how slick it is, and well, I haven't even had it slip out of my hand once, holding it this way. I've been able to, it is super tasty. This, oh, by the way, this is some Moab by Clutch Vapors from here in Utah. Great juice. Got that in a Hcigar sub-ohm tank, of course, running a nickel Ni200 wire. So I like its build quality, except for these threads in here. I haven't had any major problems, but those, if you can see them, are coated brass. I don't think there's any stainless steel in there. So I've already had a couple devices that I screw down on here, and it doesn't feel super buttery. It does now, but I'm just worried I'm going to cross-thread it and then have this whole device not be able to use it. Anyway, but overall, I'd say compared to what's out there in the market, this would not be a bad entry in the VT200. Would not be at all. Not be a bad entry at all.